welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to head off to the snowy wilderness of Minnesota. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, as always, a shameless plug for my TeePublic and my Zazzle store. I'll leave a link for both of those in the description box below. And today we're going to talk about a Sam Raimi film from the late 90s. And that movie is A Simple Plan. This 4K disc just came out from Arrow Video just recently, and I sat down and watched this bad boy. It's been a while since I've seen this film, and we're going to talk about it right now. A Simple Plan released January 22nd of 1998. It's rated R. It's 2 hours and 1 minute long. Had a budget of $17 million, and sadly, upon release, it only made $16 million. Sam Raimi was coming off of The Quick and the Dead in 95. He did this in 98, and then right after this, he went off to do For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, and then The Gift, and then Spider-Man in 2002. In this film, we have a nice little cast there. Our main characters are Bill Paxton, plays Hank. He works at this feed store, blue-collar worker. He has a wife played by Bridget Fonda, Sarah, and his brother played by Billy Bob Thornton, and his name is Jacob, but he just got laid off. They live in a small town in Minnesota, and Jacob and Hank are with their friend Lou is tagging along. They're going out to visit their father's grave. And on the way back, they're in the woods and looking for Jacob's dog, who took off after this fox, and they happen upon this crashed plane. In this crashed plane, they find a dead body, but they also find a bag with over like $4.4 million in it. And pretty quickly, they come up with a plan to, although Hank is very hesitant, he knows this leads nowhere good, but he is convinced that they keep the money and splitting it up eventually once they figure out that there's nobody looking for it, and move out of the area and live better lives than what they currently lead. And that is pretty much a simple plan. What to like about this film? Well, the cast. Bill Paxton and Billy Bob Thornton and Bridget Fonda are great here. So is the rest of the cast. The cast has really great character actors you'll recognize throughout, top to bottom. Even Bill Paxton's father makes an appearance. He's the old man in the feed store giving Bill Paxton's character a hard time at one point. That's Bill Paxton's father. Matter of fact, Bill Paxton didn't even know his father was cast in this film until he showed up at the production offices and saw his dad's name on the call sheet. The movie is extremely well directed by Sam Raimi. It's definitely a different directing style for Sam Raimi. There's none of those zany camera movements. The transitions, those crazy transitions that Sam is known for, are seemingly not present here. This is a very more subdued Sam Raimi, more, just letting the actors tell the story. And I love Sam Raimi's directing style. I mean, that's what makes him so unique. But here is definitely a different style that Sam Raimi is going for in this film. I love the location. This snowy, dreary setting, this small town, rural setting, where these people, Jacob and Lou are laid off and they just do odd jobs, and Hank's the one with the full-time employment. But even his wife gets on board pretty quickly once he shows her the money, realizing that they could actually make a better life for themselves, that this money probably came from a drug dealer or something, so they're decent people, they should do something with it. But pretty soon we see what these decent people turn into, with murder and plotting to try to, make sure nobody finds out what happened, what they've done. And in the film, I mean, Hank and Sarah are still together, but they're not leading happy lives. There's not a happy ending to this movie, and I really appreciate that. Not everything has to have a happy ending. I know I've said that before in other reviews, and this movie certainly does not have that happy ending. Sarah and Hank, yes, they had their child, and their child's growing up, and they're still together, but they are not leading what you would call happy lives. Now, nowhere near what they thought was going to happen with all this money, which Hank ends up burning after he shoots Jacob, because he knows it's just going to continue on. These bad things are just going to continue on. They're going to continue having to do bad things to hide their secret. So at the end of the day, and plus when they find out that the FBI had already they already have the serial numbers for a bunch of bills that they're going to be looking for if anybody spends it, Hank knows this has gone nowhere good, so he destroys the money. And he lost a lot just to end up being at the exact same place as he was at the beginning of the film. And at the end of the film, I mean, honestly, I like the way this film ends. I like the way the film, is told. I mean, this is a really, really great thriller that not too many people talk about, certainly within the extent of Sam Raimi's filmography. But even as a 90s thriller, a lot of folks don't talk about this film. And I'm glad Arrow gave it a great transfer on this, a great disc with some really cool special features, interviews with the director of photography, a couple of the actors that are in the film. I mean, it's a really well done, another really well done release by Arrow Video. I highly recommend if you're a fan of this film. Now, this film was based on a novel by Scott Smith. He actually started writing it as a screenplay and decided to write it as a book, and it was unpublished. He published a short story, and he was asked if he had anything else, and he had this. So my ring light went on again. I don't know, it's been happening a lot lately. Sorry, we'll just continue. Keep moving here. And they end up getting made into a film. Actually, at one point, Ben Stiller was attached to direct this film. Then John Dahl was attached to direct this film. And even John Boorman was attached to direct this film. John Boorman dropped out. Sam Raimi came in. But Sam Raimi, on pre-production, did not have enough time to do location scouting. So he pretty much just used the same locations that John Boorman had already scouted for this film. So Sam didn't even get to do his own location scouting. He pretty much just did whatever was already done when he got onto the set. This was filmed in Minnesota mostly, but when they started shooting, Minnesota did not have any snow. So they actually went to Wisconsin for a time to shoot some scenes where there was lots of snow on the ground, and then came back to Minnesota later on. Danny Elfman did the score for this film, one of many collaborations with Sam Raimi. At the end of the day, this is an extremely great thriller. If you've never seen it, don't go in expecting a happy ending, as I've said. But it's well acted, it's well shot, it's well told. It's, people, just a morality tale about these good small town folks that find some money and pretty soon are doing some pretty horrible shit to cover up their secret, and they turn into people they never thought they'd probably turn into in their lives. So yeah, at the end of the day, I would give Simple Plan a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 for a Simple Plan. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. That's it for this review. Until next time, bye.